Hey folks, and welcome to Subjective Thoughts. Today we have the comic Excellence Issue 2 by Image. Now there is fighting in this one, so if you are in any way squeamish, you have been warned. Also, spoilers. Alright, let's get to the names. Alright, so the creator and writers, Brandon Thomas. The creator and artist is a creator, also an artist is Khary Randolph. Colorist is Emilio Lopez. Letter is Deron Bennett. Editor is San. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'll be down below. And associate editor, I don't know how to pronounce that, I'll be down below. And the cover is by Khary Randolph. I don't know how to read that with the H in front. Never mind. Alright. So, I'm just gonna get straight into this one and not recollect each time what happened in the previous one. If you'd like to know, then read it or just watch the previous video. Alright, so we start with Spencer in the desert. Our good wizard boy is in the desert. Or not really in the desert, he's in the in their glass tower. Oh shit. Why do I always keep forgetting what this place is called? For piss sake. Just a second. Right, the column, sorry. So he's in a column. So the first part is he devised this plan to steal some scrolls with, I suppose, healing spells to help his grandmother, who has fallen sick. There's been an accident. We still don't know yet what exactly happened to her. So he devises a plan. He leaves the hospital room. And so we see, 37 minutes before and stuff like that. So we see him going into the column, into these pretty cool elevators that they have. And through those elevators, he's gonna go into the place where the scrolls are. So he uses, he goes into the elevator and wants to get a flashback of his dad bringing him there when he was 4 years old. That was nice. And together with that, we see him do his plan. He goes into the elevator, and then he summons a duplicate of himself, that sort of thing, to be in the elevator while he, not kind of like in Mission Impossible style, but instead of opening a vent, he just opens a hole there and just jumps onto other elevators. It's like, imagine you would have a lot of elevators, but they're these clear cubes, mainly in baby blue, and they're all up in the air with no strings. So that kind of thing. So he uses that, he goes in, he knocks out one of the brothers there. Uses his wand to get into the column where there's sand. Also, apparently Spencer hates snow. Not really explained why, but apparently he does. So he gets in there. Now, on the way when he went into the column to commence his plan, we see Aaron, the one that has the Killmonger hairdo. And, he's heard about the grandmother, and Spencer was being a royal dick to him. He's like, if you ever want someone to talk to. Yeah, Spencer was really an asshole to him. So anyway, he continues. When he reaches the place where I presume the scrolls are, we see Aaron there again. He's trying to prevent Spencer from doing something stupid. Already a bit too late for that. And just as they're talking, the overseer, like the highest wizard in their magical universe, appears. He's there because Spencer tried to steal the scroll, to steal a scroll. As it's established, it's not allowed to use magic on those who are undeserving, as they call here, and so he can't use magic to help his grandmother. Which I mean, I do wonder why not though. Like you have these 10 families, and they're meant to protect these deserving people and all that. Wouldn't it make sense to try to maintain the families? I mean, have maybe some spells aside they could use on their own members. And I'm just thinking, also the women aren't allowed to use magic, which, I mean, well, why not? You'd have double the protectors, right? I also wonder how the whole thing with children works here. Spencer doesn't have siblings. It looks like his dad doesn't have any siblings either. Does it mean that they're allowed just one child per generation? Like, what happens if Spencer later on just, dies? What do his parents do? Do they have another child, or is that the end of the bloodline? Why does Spencer can't have children? I'm just curious. How does that work? Right, sorry. I went a bit off track. Anyway, the overseer arrives and he, for some reason, also punishes Aaron for what Spencer was about to do. At first, Spencer asked, "Did you snitch on me?" But no, Aaron didn't. The overseer blasts him. He blasts Aaron, and it looks like it hurts quite a lot. Spencer is asking him to let Aaron go. It's not Aaron's fault, it's him. Leave him alone. And then he throws Aaron on Spencer. But luckily, not luckily. Anyway, Aaron is not dead. The overseer tells him it's only because he came here to protect your father that I'm not killing him. Okay. Then he proceeds to take care of Spencer, giving him warnings. And then he poofs Spencer into a prison cell. And then Spencer realizes that his magic is gone. Magic is gone from him, and he says, and then the overseer is there. And he tells him, you're still young, Spencer. You can be corrected. Holy shit. They have a whole creepy system there, I'll tell you that. Yeah, it can still be corrected. You're only 15. Although he looks like he's 20-something. Could already have 3 kids. Anyway, he starts talking to him, or perhaps you don't want to be corrected. Perhaps you want to be, unspecial, unremarkable. And Spencer starts to break down. It's actually quite sad. I mean, he looks so lost and broken without his magic. And then he says, that without his magic, his dad is not gonna love him. It is really a sad moment, and you can actually quite believe that is so, that his dad isn't going to love him. Spencer no longer has magic, and he, gets their family. Yeah, basically the overseer, as he says, is going to remove their family. They'll only have 9 families in this thing. He says, we won't need you if I decide so. He's also taunting him, the bastard. And it is all again incredibly sad. I mean, Spencer is sitting there broken, he's begging, he wants his magic back. Looks like he doesn't know what he'll do with himself without his magic. And then the overseer tells him, point your wand at me again, and I will make sure to erase your family from existence. He does give him his powers back, and he tells him, do you understand me, boy? Spencer says yes, and then the overseer leaves. And then we jump up into the future, towards the end, where it seems like the Overseer and Spencer are fighting. Spencer is 19 then, so it's 4 years later. And they asked him, "Do you remember what I promised you?" And then Spencer, at the last panel, he tells him, "Remind me." So that was actually a pretty cool end. I do wonder what happens in those 4 years. Also, it's a good thing that they actually they tell you that he's 18, because you can't tell. He looks the same. He looks exactly the same. It looks I mean, in age, it's like that character from Star Wars, the new movies, the chick, Rey. It's like Rey. Like, she doesn't, her look basically doesn't change at all, it would seem. And the same thing here. If there was that little circle that told you age 19, then you honestly wouldn't know. But oh well. At least we have that. I don't know, it's just funny. It just doesn't look 15. Anyway, but overall, it was really cool. I am dying to know what happens next. How is, what kind of fights is the Overseer having with Spencer later on? Sorry about the noise. There's a family walking around. So here's this desert column. You look at the pyramids. I'm sorry. And again, I can't show you too many of the pages, as this is a relatively new comic. So this is in the hospital room. Outside of it, where also again we have Spencer's dialogue throughout, and he says about him and his dad, they're both the same. They're cowards. Again, very very touching moments here. There's the grandma, and I'll show the elevators, and that's it. That's Aaron. And you see that Spencer's a little boy when his dad takes him to the. I guess the first time he takes him to the column. So there's the elevators. Look at that, it's so cool. Anyway, besides that, the art again is really cool. Look at those elevators. That's neat. So yeah, I am excited to see what the third issue has in store, and what we'll see with the Overseer and Spencer. What kind of fight are they having, and about what? Oh, and what happens to his grandmother as well? I mean, did she live, or did she die? In the age of 19, we know Spencer no longer has her. So yes, very interesting. Oh, and I do dig the cover. At first I thought this might be Spencer, but now I think this is the Overseer, this figure, and this is Spencer. So yeah, pretty cool, a nice cover. Alright, so that is it, folks. Let me know if you've been reading Excellence and what you thought. And, again, if you like magic, I recommend giving this one a read. They have one hell of a magic system. Alright, so that is it. Till next time, happy reading.